Today, Prime Minister Mark Carney broke ground on a new mine located around 120 kilometers north of Montreal.
In 1 year, we have signed 56 agreements on critical minerals with more than 10 countries because they know the world needs reliable partners in a dangerous world. And we know that entrepreneurs, such as those gathered here today, need predictability in the age of uncertainty.
The Matawinie Mine will be the largest graphite mine in the G7 and one of the most recent projects greenlit by the newly formed Major Projects Office. This project went from referral to construction in 6 months. The president, founder and CEO of Nouveau Monde, Graphite, Éric Desaulniers, joins me now. Nice to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So the Prime Minister pitched your project as really a big deal, saying it could be one of the largest graphite mines in the G7, a crucial link in the critical minerals supply chain. Tell me what you're building there in Quebec and why this project matters for the country.
Prime Minister is right. We're building in the Saint-Michel-des-Saints, the largest natural graphite mine of the G7 countries. We will be producing about 106,000 tons per annum of natural graphite out of the project. It's a $600 million, give or take, initial capital expenditure on the project, and a quarter of the production in Saint-Michel-des-Saints that will start producing early 2029 will be sent to Bécancour. That's a 2 hours drive close between Montreal and Quebec City, where we will transform a quarter of the production for Panasonic Energy into active anode material for batteries. So very, very important first step is to launch the construction of the mine today. So in 30 months from now, we are producing there. And within the next 6 months, we need to launch as well the Bécancour project to synchronize both delivery of projects.
So really the graphite will be used for batteries, maybe defense purposes eventually as well. Maybe just give me a sense of what this mineral will actually be used for.
Yeah, I would say at the end, about half of the production should go in the lithium-ion battery, both for EV, obviously, but also for battery energy storage solution. Our customer, Panasonic, is involved in both segments. I would say we are in talk with many customers, both in Europe and in the US and in Japan, for about half the production going in that market. There's other important market for graphite. Refractory bricks in the steelmaking industry to build the walls of a foundry are using a lot of graphite, so that we have an offtake with about 20% of the production with Traxys, a big trading house in that market. And we have obviously an offtake for 28% of the production with the Canadian government for about 20 other applications, 200 other customers that are buying for very niche application, high value, defense sector, civilian application as well. So that's really a very important part of the agreement with the Canadian government.
Like so many of these critical minerals, I take it China controls, I think it's 80% of the world's graphite supply, right? Like they just have an iron grip on this.
The concentrate, yeah.
Right,
and if you look, if you look the transformation of it, it's even worse. It's close to 100% of the battery grade graphite. So the concentrate is about 80, but the battery grade is even more, bigger grip.
So the Western world is almost entirely dependent really on Beijing for so much of the supply. Obviously not all, but a lot of it. I think Madagascar is a big market as well. Do you see this new mine as a way to kind of check China's dominance in this space?
Absolutely, it's the first part. We need to have mines, but not, as I've mentioned, not only mines, but also the transformation step to manufacture a product that is useful for a customer. So now, in our case, Panasonic Energy, we do the transformation to do this very engineered powder that they need in their battery plant in the US and in Japan, but we need to do the same in other markets as well. So there's a lot of value-added verticals that we need to build, because China is good at mining, but is even better at transforming the product for a lot of different niche applications. And that's what this agreement with the Canadian government allow us to do, is to build other verticals than the battery supply chain, which is one important, but there's other things to do.
This project was referred to the Major Projects Office. I think it was about 6 months ago, and now obviously you've announced construction is underway with the Prime Minister on hand today. What do you make of that timeline? Do you think that the MPO, the Major Projects Office, helped clear away some of the red tape to get this project off the ground? Do you think that the federal body really made a difference in terms of being able to build this mine?
Absolutely. I think the support from the major project office is different for every case. Our case was more like an advanced stage development project. So the need we needed to have is really acting as a coordinator internally. So we're dealing with Export Development Canada, with the Canadian Infrastructure Bank, with Canada Growth Fund, with the Public Service Procurement Canada for the offtake, with Natural Resource Canada. So making sure the company has one-stop shop to discuss about the project, the needs, and what we need. And then we have somebody that is not only good at selling externally, but internally at the governmental apparatus to make sure we understand each other. And something else that the government did recently that was very helpful is making sure in all international representation that they explain that Canada want to be a leader in critical minerals, that we are welcoming large investment from overseas, that the Canadian government and Quebec government will be there to match those investments. And it allowed us to bring on board like Japanese Mitsui & Co., right. Panasonic Energy, now ENI, a large oil and gas company from Italy. Yep. It's not only me who are able to attract these large organizations. We need to have a government alongside projects to pitch the most ready and the most investable project we have in Canada.
We've heard a lot of criticism from leaders in the natural resources sector, in the energy sector, saying it takes too long to build a mine. It can take, decades in some cases, pipelines taking forever, stalled for a long time because of regulation, environmental considerations, what have you. Do you feel like things are moving in the right direction after years of kind of lagging in this space? Do you think that the federal government has it in hand? Are they better prepared now to greenlight projects in the national interest?
Yeah, but we need to manage expectation. Major project like that, we receive our full decree from the provincial government in 2021 in February, after 19 months from application to receiving the permits. But we needed a lot of study. We need to understand what we will do to Mother Nature. We need to do those agreements with the local communities, with First Nation. It takes time, those things. So we need to be realistic on we cannot build a pipeline in a year. We have a lot of work to do, and I think what the major project office is doing is fantastic. It's great, but we cannot expect a project every 6 months to be launched. This is the goal. We need to accelerate the most investable project, but there's a lot of work to do to make a major project a reality.
All right, let's leave it there. The president, founder, and CEO of Nouveau, Monde, Graphite, Éric Desaulniers. Nice to see you, sir. Thanks for coming in on a busy day.
Thanks for having me.